What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got a reaction to Top 10 Animated Videos brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter and patron of the channel, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out the Patreon link below, the Patreon link on the end screen. Obviously, I don't have any opening research on these. I just will say, first of all, I'm impressed that Richard could put a list like this together because I surely couldn't. So let's just jump into this. Just a reminder, the music will not be in the video, but it will be at a link below, and so will the videos, right? If that makes sense. So watch along and listen along with me. That's the way to do this because we're talking about the videos. We'll talk about the song too, but we're talking about the video. So let's jump in with number 10. You see it below. I'm going to put up the Spotify bar for every song just so we know what we're talking about. We got Disturbed's version of Land of Confusion from 10,000 Fists in 2005, their third album. Cover, of course, of Genesis. This is the fourth single off of this album. Vocalist David Draymond commented on the aim of covering the song was, quote, taking a song that's absolutely nothing like us and making it our own. The line "and the sound of your laughter" in the original's bridge was replaced by "in the wake of this madness," while the bridge of the song was replaced with a short solo by guitarist Dan Donegan. Now, this video we're going to watch was animated by Todd McFarlane, known as creator of the comic series Spawn. He had previously animated the music videos for the songs "Freak on a Leash" by Korn and "Do the Evolution" by Pearl Jam. According to McFarlane, the music video is, quote, a big view of the corporate world and how it all ties into just one beast for me. The world is run by one giant thing, which is driven by greed and lust. That has not changed, right? Reached number 1 in the hot mainstream rock charts, making it Disturbed's first #1 single on that chart. All right, I'm going to check out the lyrics as well, not at the same time as I'm checking out the video. Thank you again, Richard. Let's get after it. All right, it's a story as old as time, right? The dollar sign is in this throughout. It's the idea of the war, like war's about power and money, always has been, and the guys who decide on it are not the ones fighting, and this is kind of what this just delves out in the dollar sign. Comes everywhere at the very end, the fat cat smoking the cigar that actually had the dollar sign too. When our protagonist goes out to outer space to come back to really get some power and hits the guy, dollar signs or the dollar bills go everywhere because it's all about power and money, you know, and it calls out the different countries and the leaders of those countries at the time. So really, really well done. I mean, it's going to be hard on all of these videos to watch it one time and like react to everything in it. So I'll try to summarize it without, you know, going on too long. I will say this, all respect to Phil Collins and the boys at Genesis. I definitely preferred Disturbed's version of this song. All right, next up, we have the Alan Parsons Project, Don't Answer Me, from Ammonia Avenue in 1984, their 7th album. 15 in the US, 58 in the UK. The music video was rendered in comic book style with art and animation by Michael Kaluta. The video took 23 days to film using a 40-man animation team and combined traditional cell animation in the rendering of the figures, stop motion animation for the majority of the movements, and even claymation. The final cost topped $50,000. I actually would have thought it would have been even more than that. All right, excellent video. I actually knew this song. I didn't know that I knew this song, but I knew this song. So a really good storytelling too. I mean, you know, our protagonist Nick has broke up with the girl. I got the girl's name here. Sugar, yeah. Forgot her name, but she was with another guy then. Muscles Malone is that guy's name. He was treating her badly, so Nick kind of gets drunk, leaves, and goes to the Burgers and Shakes. When he's driving, you see a little billboard for the Alan Parsons Project album, Ammonia Avenue, so I thought that was a nice touch. And then, of course, Sugar and Muscles Malone pull up, and so Nick gets into a fight because he can't take it anymore with Malone, and they fight, and it looks like Nick's down, but at the very last second, knocks out Muscles, gets his girl, and we all live happily ever after. So good song, really good video. All right, next up we have Flobots with Handlebars from the Fight with Tools album in 2007. First single from their debut album, 37 on the Billboard Hot 100, 3 on the modern rock charts. Flobots vocalist Jamie Laurie stated that this song is about the idea that we have so much incredible potential as human beings to be destructive or to be creative. And it's tragic to me that the appetite for military innovation is endless. But when it comes to taking on a project like ending world hunger, it's seen as outlandish. This is so true. It's not treated with the same seriousness at the same time. I knew there were people at that moment who were being bombed by our own country, and I thought that was incredibly powerful. It is the contrast between these little moments of creativity, these bursts of innovation, and the way these ideas are put to use to oppress and destroy people that the singer feels is beautiful and tragic at the same time. All right, what a powerful video. It starts out with two friends. They're riding their bikes. They're out in the country overlooking the city. They're riding their bikes with no handlebars, right? And then they get to the city, and there's a two crossroads. There's a dove on one sign and like a C for corporate on the other, and they go their separate ways. And throughout the video, the dove is, I think, representing good, and like there's a hawk who kills a dove in it, and a hawk that flies through a brick wall that has a dove on it. So I think the hawk is bad, representing bad. The dove is representing good, but they go their separate ways as friends. And then you see the corporate guy achieve all this power and money, and he understands how to work that and sell things. And then he's talking, and it turns to American flags behind him. So now he's the leader. And so his other friend finally gets tired of it and leads this kind of rebellion against it. And they go up to where the guy's doing a speech outside probably City Hall or some sort of Capitol, and all the soldiers there doing riot control. The cops or the soldiers shoot them all down, including this guy's friend, and he looks a little horrified by that. And then at the end, they're riding off with no handlebars into like this white light. So really well done, very, very engaging, and really good song. All right, at number 7, of course, you got to have these guys on a list like this. Gorillaz on Melancholy Hill from the Plastic Beach album in 2010, their third album. Third single went to 78 in the UK, 13 on the UK dance charts. It was originally written by Damon Albarn during the production of The Good, the Bad, and the Queen's self-titled album. Fellow Gorillaz member Murdoch Nichols stated that following about on Melancholy Hill in an interview, he said, "The Melancholy Hill is that feeling, that place that you get in your soul sometimes, like someone's let your tires down. It's nice to break up the album with something a little lighter. It's good to have something that's a genuine pop moment on every album." And this is one of those. All right, as always with the Gorillaz, or with Gorillaz, a very entertaining video. And it starts out with the ocean liner under attack. And the guy goes into to the girl's room, Noodles, and she tells her she got to evacuate, but instead she grabs the gun and shoots down one of the 2 planes, but the other one drops a bomb. And she ends up living in the lifeboat. And then we just kind of do all of this other stuff, right? And some of the other guys in the Submarines are Lou Reed, De La Soul, Snoop Dogg, of course, Mick Jones, Paul Simon, because they all helped with the album. So that's kind of funny as it just all unfolds. And at the very end, when the fog behind the plateau clears, it reveals Plastic Beach. That's what it says here in the little summary I'm reading. So entertaining as always, like I said, with Gorillaz. Next up at number 6, we got a song I couldn't find anything on, The Ghost Club, Same Graves from the Ghost Club album, just last year at the time of this film in 2022. All right, Same Graves, The Ghost Club, really, really well done, right? Because the ghost, like the dude's dead, I guess, that they're chasing, but as he looks at his own tombstone, but he's still not quite all the way there. And I mean, at the very end, either a demon or a female Satan comes out and kind of finishes it. But the song itself is really good because it's telling the story of this guy who's a social outcast, right? And I think a lot of us watching this have been there before, right? In some form or fashion. And whatever he does, he still ends up alone and trying to figure that out. And I mean, that we're all kind of in the same place. I mean, in that graveyard, all the skeletons are in there. They're playing tennis. They're having fun. But he's running and he's alone. So I think, in the chorus, oh, nothing ever changes. What's beyond control makes you miserable. And you don't mind the chains because social status just won't change the fact that we all share the same grave. Look, we're all in this together. But, we might be popular, we may not be. But really, really well done video. And I really like the song. All right, next up at number 5, you see it below. It's either Nizlopi or Nizlopi. I'll go with Nizlopi. JCB song about the song Half These Songs Are About You in 2005. That album, its their debut. This was the second single. They're an English folk music duo written by members Luke Connaughton and John Parker. Connaughton wrote the lyric at his parents' house, drawing inspiration from his father, Kieran Connaughton, and later composed the song with Parker. The theme of the song's lyrics stems from a moment in Connaughton's childhood when his father picked him up from school in a JCB digger, or backhoe loader, and his reflection on how his peers bullied him for having dyslexia. The song tells the story of a similar boy who's fascinated with his father and the vehicle on which they ride. He imagines his father as a hero, comparing him to several famous figures such as Bruce Lee, and B.A. Baracus, who was Mr. T in the A-Team back in the 80s, and pretends to torment bullying on the playground as a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Following several praised performances of the song, Nizlopi decided to release JCP as the album's second single in June of 2005. It did not make a major commercial impact. Over the next few months, the song began to circulate around the internet, attaining a cult following. Soon after its release, animation company Monkey Hub created and commissioned a music video later the same year, which further propelled the track into the public eye. Near the end of 2005, JCB became a contender for the 2005 UK Christmas #1 single, a much-prized thing. It was re-released on December 12, 2005 to coincide with this event. It peaked at #1 on the UK singles chart, but lost the position on Christmas Day. That's My Goal by X Factor Series 2 winner Shane Ward. This song remains their most successful. All right, JCB song, so well done, right? I like the fact that the video, it's simple, right? The animation's simple, but it matches the lyrics, right? You get Tyrannosaurus Rex coming, you know, he's Luke and he's 5 years old and his dad's Bruce Lee driving around in his JCB. Just a fun memory, you know, talking about the dyslexia and struggling with that stuff. You know, being a really tough time, but his dad made that go away, at least for that moment. You know, he's turning around, sticking his tongue out, holding up traffic. But those of you that have dads that were involved or moms that were involved, you know, through tough times, but they bring you out of that or bring you out of it for a moment, you know, bring some happiness into your life. Those memories are invaluable that you remember forever. And obviously Luke did, so a really well done song and video. Next up, we have 9 Inch Nails and Only from their album With Teeth in 2005. That's our 4th album. Second single went to number 1 on the Billboard Modern Rock chart, where it stayed for 7 weeks, went to number 20 in the UK. Singer Trent Reznor said the song is about the music business clashing with his artistic desires. He said, when you get on this path of trying to sell records, it becomes about selling more records and playing bigger venues. It's like, wait a minute. The goal has to be about making the best music possible, or else it becomes something that will make you implode. Should I say yes to that Microsoft commercial because I could use a new house? Or do I say no because this is something precious that would be tarnished if I did that? I find myself saying this to record labels and business manager guys, and they're like, you won't do what? Because of what? They just don't get it. So this one ought to be good. All right, Only. Really good video, man. Really enjoyed it. Got the pin screen there, and that's basically all you see. Trent, and I mean, this was, you know, they obviously performed, you see the guitarist in there, but you know, they kind of just all CGI'd it, which back then David Fincher directed this video. It was probably something like the way it goes 360 around the pen art, and you see him, but a good song. There is no you, there's only me. There is no you, there's no F in you, there's only me. This the song kind of talks about what I talked about at the beginning, what Reznor said. You know, he kind of talks about he's losing himself, and it's not about them, it's about him. So really good song. Next up, we got Bears Den and the song Shadows from the Blue Hours album in 2022. 3rd single, driven by piano. The song's lyrics explore mental health, one of the main themes in the album. Through a press release, Andrew Davey commented on the song's lyrics. He said, the song is generally about talking to someone who is struggling with their depression. The point of the song is saying, just hang in there and I'll be there. I think that's probably why it felt right for it to be a quite triumphant sounding song amidst the darkness and sadness of the song. It's quite dark, but deserved an epic approach, to which Kevin Jones added, it's a positive song. It's talking about unconditional love. We wanted the energy to be there. All right, Shadows. Really good video. An absolutely great song. I've never heard this song. You know, about depression, and I thought they did a really good job in the video of differentiating that. You know, he's singing to the girl that he loves and that she has that depression. You know, he's just talking about how he remembers how she used to have the magic. The shadows always seem to find you, though no one knows you better than I do. I'll just have to wait here patient for them to go, for I know you'll come back around. I'm looking for a little light that the shadows cannot find, that depression, you know, that darkness around them. And the chorus, just stay on the line, give me a little time. I want you in all the shadows that walk beside you. Like he wants her, and he's going to stay there and fight for it. You know, if you're battling depression, that's what you got to have. You got to have somebody who says, look, man, I'm in it for you, right? Not just, oh, feel better. Like I'm here for you and I'm sticking with you no matter what. So just a really good video, but an absolutely fantastic song. And I know I'm looking at videos here, but you can't differentiate the quality of that song. Next up, we have Dire Straits with Brothers in Arms from 1985. It was written in 1982, though, the year of Britain's involvement in the Falklands War. The Falklands militia was under arrest by the Argentine army, and the population of the Falklands was less than 2,000. In the song, there's an opening riff of a thunderstorm, i.e. rain. There's also mentions of mountain and lowlands, as well as farming. This went to number 16 in the UK. Okay, so the overlaid images are of the First World War. So, I mean, I know everyone says it's about the Falklands. I'm sure it is. He wrote it in 1982, but, you know, it fit with the First World War and those images. And it says it's a rotoscoping. That's how we see the band performing, you know, because actually it's them, and you can kind of tell it's them. It's almost like there's just the rotoscoping, just an effect on them. So it's animated, but in kind of a different kind of way. The song itself is fantastic. I like the video fine. The song itself is fantastic. So Mark, and I've said this a lot of times on my Dire Straits stuff, he's one of the greatest guitarists ever. But what I love about him too is he's got subtlety to it. You can tell he's one of the greatest guitarists ever, but he doesn't have to give you a 5-minute solo. And I've always just loved that. He's really good and underrated songwriter. I mean, Dire Straits is very underrated as the years click on by. So a good choice for number 2. And now we're to number 1. I know some of you probably thought it was Aha, Take On Me. It is not. It is James with Moving On from 2009. There is no research out there on this, so I don't know what I'm walking into, but I'm sure it's good. All right, Moving On by James. Very powerful song, like the person's dying, right? And so using the yarn was a very smart way to represent that, I think. You know, in the lyrics, you know, he's on his way, he's moving on, you know, I'm on my way, soon be moving on my way, leave a little light on, time's always unwinding, all these dead lines in my mind, seeds and dreams we planted, took for granted, didn't prove, walking down this road, my pulse beats slow, hope to have you close at hand. When the cycle ends, let's start again. Will we recognize old friends? I'm on my way. So a really well done video on a tough subject. I think if you did a real video for this, like with live people and acting, it would be almost too emotional. Like you have that risk. So it's still emotional because you see how they're slowly fading away, right? You're trying to hang on and hold on to them, and the person dying, it's like, no, let it go. And so it goes. And, you know, it's a new birth. Like, you know, once they get to heaven, they're baby, you know, it's just really well done. Really well done. All right, now we get to my favorite tracks. I had to stop there in the filming process for a minute to figure this out because, I mean, these are really well done. You know, I'm grading the videos, not the songs, but they kind of all go together. So it's going to kind of get you in there. If the song is great or the video is great, if they're both great, it's going to get you on the faves. But honorable mention, we got Disturbed. The first song we heard, Land of Confusion. A lot going on in that video. Very, very representative of a lot of things. Flobots, Handlebars, also honorable mention. And then Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. It did win the Grammy in '87. I forgot to tell you that for best video. So they'd probably be against me put in just honorable mention. Faves are going to be Nizlopi. God, I should have looked up how to say them. JCB song, Bears Den and Shadows, and that last song, James, Moving On. That was my favorite and a worthy pick at number one. So let me know what you thought of these videos below. What other animated videos are your favorites? I know everybody's going to say Take On Me from AHA, so we'll just say that's a given. Let me know what else you think down below. Thank you to Richard for curating this list. I said there up front, it'd be a very tough list to put together, to know enough animated videos and then curate them. Just a well done list. So, all right, guys, until next time, I will see you.